Yeah, I think it'll be even if it's on replays, people are going to definitely watch this.
Yeah. Do you have his Twitter account?
Yeah. So I believe it's what his name was there, Uno. Yeah. So it's _Uno Trace.
Cool. I should have been more prepared than I am right now.
Oh, we got on.
What's up, guys? Hopefully our last pop-up show for a while. You know, these things are becoming too common here.
Yeah, my wife's getting sick of this.
What's up, y'all? Go Nose.
All right, let me throw this in a few Facebook groups, and then we'll get rolling. How many we got in the chat, boys?
Let's see. Looks like 16 on Facebook. I don't know on Periscope right now or YouTube.
Periscope, it says.
Oh, does it not show you the total in the thing? Like it shows me in StreamYard, just 26 total.
Yeah,
it's probably because
you're the host. Yeah,
that makes sense. I was like, why are you going to add them all up, bro? Just look at the thing. That makes sense then.
Dr. George says he's spending more time with us than at his job.
Hey man, don't get in trouble now.
Yeah, don't get fired. But if you do, you can spend even more time with us. So whatever you got to do,
right?
It's terrible. All right, wrapping up. We'll get going. I think I'm gonna shout out my guy Ed. For those of y'all in here, I think I'm gonna start having Ed share these. It's too many, and it slows up. It does let more people get in here though, so we don't just start like right away. So I guess it's not the worst thing that we just sit here. We should probably take questions in this first little bit.
Yeah. But we don't want to keep waiting backstage too long though.
We're week 2 though, so we're trying to figure it out. All right, we're good to go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Double Fries No Slaw. Another pop-up show, guys. This is becoming a regular thing, but the news just doesn't seem to stop in Florida State land, and so we're trying to strike while the iron's hot. TJ Pittenger alongside, again, national champion Freddie Stevenson. You probably never get tired of hearing that, though. And super host Richie Barnes. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Good. Quick episode. I don't think we'll be more than 15, 20 minutes tonight. I say that we'll go 30, but we have a special guest. Before I get to that, I do want to tell you we are sponsored and brought to you by Guthrie's in Tallahassee. Let's put the banner up. Both their locations, you can visit 2550 North Monroe Street and 1818 West Tennessee Street. Double Fries No Slaw is how you need to order that. I went to Guthrie's here in Tampa today, and we'll talk about that a little bit later with a buddy, and got Double Fries No Slaw. I was talking with Freddie about it before we kicked off. Well, we've got a guest tonight. We had a lot of news yesterday. We had Cromartie on the show talking about everything going on at Florida State. Richie, I'm going to let you intro our guest. I'm going to add him to the stream now, and take it away, man. Let's get rolling.
Yeah, we're joined by a special guest tonight, Kedarian Jones. He's a former Memphis wide receiver, played 3 years under Coach Mike Norvell. And if the name sounds familiar, he had a tweet that kind of went viral in the Florida State world between Twitter, the websites, message boards. So if you haven't seen it, we're going to get to that. But first of all, just welcome in our guest. Hey, Kedarian, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing real well, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on. I think you have a very unique insight, having spent multiple years in Mike Norvell's program, seeing the growth in what he built it to, you guys winning the conference championship last year. So for those of you who don't know Kedarian, he was a very productive receiver last year, 39 receptions, 609 yards, 4 touchdowns in Mike Norvell's offense. I know Florida State fans will be excited to hear about that. We're going to get to the tweet in a little bit, but first I just want to talk to you. You know, you originally signed with Justin Fuente when you were coming out of high school in Texas, and then your sophomore year, Mike Norvell comes in. So just talk about what it was like meeting him. You signed up to play for one coach, and now you're playing for somebody else. So just, I guess, your first impressions of Coach Norvell and what that acclimation period was like getting to know him.
Yeah, so like you said, I came in as a freshman under Fuente, and then going into my sophomore year, that summer, that spring, actually, Coach Norvell had arrived on campus, and the first impressions were, honestly, they were mixed in the room. Norvell is a very intense and a very, how can I say, he's a very passionate guy, and he really cares a lot about, not just winning, but he really cares about the success of his student athletes, and he comes in the room, and when he steps into the room, he lets it be known that he's in the room, and sometimes they can be intimidating, sometimes it can be motivating. But hey, when he first got there, it was real good, man. I mean, for me personally, we had our own disagreements and misunderstandings, but as a young pup, that tends to happen. But looking back on it, growing and just realizing how he was and the things he implemented, it really did benefit me in the long run.
Awesome, man. And how about the seniors? So for you, it was a little different because you were just a sophomore. You had 3 years ahead of you. What about some of these upperclassmen, the juniors and seniors? Was it a little harder for them to kind of, mesh with the coach, or how do you think it went with some of those older guys?
I kind of feel like anywhere in the country, anytime a new guy steps into the building, the older guys are always going to kind of feel as though they're more the leaders of the room, or they have more to say so. And as an old guy, I think personally I would feel, like I said, like, who's this new guy coming in? He coming in changing what we know, what we always been used to, and I'm pretty sure some of those guys did feel some type of way about how he came in and how he presented himself in the room. But like I said, again, the long run, it shows that it works and it pays off.
Awesome, man. And going back to your tweet, so we had your tweet went out. Let me read it. So you're quoting Warren Thompson, a Florida State junior receiver. Thompson's tweet it was a little vague, but definitely directed, talking about he didn't feel the leaders were being honest with him at Florida State. He was very, concerned, and his concern should be taken seriously. But the question was, did he follow the right channels? And we're still not positive on that. But you quoted him and said, "I'm not going to lie, y'all boys too spoon-fed down there in Tallahassee. Nobody's perfect, but y'all down there doing this because you don't like the way Norvell operates. Just do your part and you'll be successful. That man is going to make sure you win on and off the field." And like I said earlier, you went viral in the Florida State community online. And quite frankly, a lot of fans really agreed with what you had to say. I don't know if you noticed, but Antonio Cromartie commented on that post yesterday, and we had him on the show last night talking about it, kind of co-signing pretty much everything you said. So I just want to give you a chance to kind of further explain that, because I don't think nobody's taking shots at him if he doesn't feel safe or anything, but maybe the way he's doing it, So just give us your thoughts. What was kind of going through your head when you saw that, when you posted it, and then the response you got? I'm sure your phone was blowing up with Florida State fans.
Yeah. So this. Okay, so let's just kind of backtrack a little bit. Being, like I said, a former player of Norvell, of course, that's my guy. I'm going to fight for him, and I'm always going to follow him. So let's go back to the first time the first news broke out about the last incident of, the social justice matter. Okay, I saw that and understood, the players, how they felt, yada, yada, yada. Cool, okay, boom. Now we come to the second topic of this recent one, and now it just bothered me and kind of rubbed me the wrong way because now it seems like we're instead of focused on football and instead of focused on getting better, we're focused on bashing our head coach and making him out to be the bad guy when he's really there to help you guys out. So so we'll go by the tweet. I called him spoon fed. First, I want to start out by saying I have no beef or no animosity toward any FSU football players, community, none whatsoever. But
For sure, yeah.
The spoon fed, I just felt like, Florida State's in the ACC. We're an American. The Power Five definitely has an advantage over the Group of Five schools with, the nutrition, the overall athlete life is much different from the two. So Florida State having all these capabilities and accessibility that makes you guys the powerhouse that you are. What is the complaints for? Norvell didn't come in saying that you guys have to do 600 yards of bear crawl to be a part of this team. Okay, I want to reference back to when Norvell first got to Memphis. Some of the first things he came to Memphis saying were you couldn't wear hats, earrings, or headphones in the building. Okay, being there with the old guys, those guys have been doing it long before he got there. So, of course, that's going to rub someone the wrong way, but it's a little thing. So if you can't do a little thing and put that to the side for the betterment of the team, then you can't be a part of the team. As a young pup, you might not remember that, but as an old guy, as I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, the guy that I quoted, I see that he's an old guy. So if football is what you're there for and what you're there to pursue, then let's not bash a coach because you don't like something that he's doing. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is because I've been there. So because something is being done that you don't like, you can't, just because you bash them, it's not going to make a change, or they're not going to let them go. So it's better to put your head down and just work and reap the like I said, the fruits of your labor, and the hard work is going to pay off. It's a hell of a guy. The proof is in the pudding. You see what he did at Memphis. It shouldn't be any complaining. So it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I didn't mean to step on the toes. Like I said, I'm sick of it because if you want to win, then you're going to do everything it takes to win. So just buy in, and that's just kind of how I feel about it.
Some of the guys in the chat are asking if you, obviously Florida State fans are asking if you have any eligibility left. You can just come through to Tallahassee.
No, I just graduated, man.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing that I think we take away, the biggest takeaway again is that if they felt unsafe and really felt that they were being lied to about COVID, which you've got a comment in there about we're trying to do our best to distinguish the fact that you can be upset and feel like something's been misrepresented and lied to. And I'm not even saying Norvell necessarily is the one that did that, right. But the way that he responded, even if he didn't mean it towards Norvell, it seemed like it threw Norvell under the bus, right? By not directing it at like the administration or anything like that. So no matter what these guys' intentions were, Warren, who is the kid you quoted or whatever, his indirect consequence was that it looks like he was throwing Norvell under the bus, whether he meant to or not, right? Whether his complaint was with Norvell, whether his complaint was with the medical staff, whether his complaint was with the FSU administration. When you say leadership and you're a college football player, they assume you're talking about the coach. And so that's really – I don't think there's any problem. Antonio Cromartie said this last night. I don't think there's any problem with disagreeing with your coach. I mean, you've disagreed with your coaches. You disagree with your players now. That's okay. But it's running to social media and throwing your coach under the bus where he's coming off the practice field and has he's completely blindsided by it. So I think that's the the distinguishing part that we're trying to make is whether he was upset with Norvell, thought Norvell was a liar, had nothing to do with Norvell, whatever. The lack of communication between him and Norvell is really what made it blow up and look like this. This is not his first kind of run in with a staff. He also kind of got into it with Taggart and them on some stuff when those guys were here. And so, unfortunately, it's kind of like par for the course in some situations. But yeah, like I completely agree with you. Do you have any, not to get too, so I said all that to say, do you have any situations, you don't have to go super deep into detail or anything like that, but I mean, you can just be very, very vague with this because I don't want to get people's personal business. But I mean, I'm sure you know of situations where guys were upset and went to Norvell. I mean, what's he like handling those situations internally? Again, you don't have to tell me like what actually happened, but I know you know of those situations, or maybe you have one yourself.
What I will say is Norvell is a person who holds everyone very accountable to whatever it is that they do, positive or negative. I'm not going to say, punishment depending, or not even that it's a punishment, but whatever it may be, he's going to hold you accountable. So if it's disciplinary action that needs to be taken, then that's going to happen, but depending on what it is, he's just going to hold you accountable for it. So this situation might be just it could be a conversation, it could be this, it could be that, but I mean, I can't really say because it's person dependent. It's just that's just how Norvell operates. I know for sure that he will be held accountable for it, but I can't really speak on how because I'm not Coach Norvell, so I'm really not sure.
I think, and I know you're not too familiar with the program right now, so just a brief catch-up. These past 3 years, these players, they haven't really had much accountability or structure going back to Jimbo Fisher's last year. He kind of checked out. It seemed like Willie Taggart wanted to be more friends with the team, and that's how he wanted to try and win him over, and he kind of got walked all over from that. So for a lot of these players, this is the first time they're seeing actual detailed structure, and listening to Coach Norvell, he's a very attention to detail man from what we can tell so far. So I think a lot of it's a culture shock. But going back to Norvell, how approachable is he? Somebody in the chat wants to know. And, especially if you don't really know him, especially with the unique circumstance right now, he's been having to communicate with all his players via Zoom since March. He just got him back on campus. So he didn't have time to build those relationships. So do you remember your first time when you felt there was need to approach him and how receptive he was and helping resolve whatever the issue may have been, if there was one?
Right. So Norvell is as approachable as the relationship per person is. So like I was saying earlier, it's really person dependent. So if you're a guy who, let's say you're a guy who stays in not trouble, but your name just keeps coming up in things, you're going to be less likely to want to, go approach Norvell about anything because I mean. There's a big trust factor that goes into Coach Norvell and his players when it comes to playing, when it comes to doing anything. So the relation it's just relationship dependent. So if you're a great guy, you do what you're supposed to do. You take care of your academics. You're great on the well, not great, but you handle business on the field. You would feel very comfortable with talking to Norvell. But I mean, if you're a steady mess up or a constant person who's causing trouble, then I wouldn't want. I'm personally, honestly, I'm not going to be the person that want to go approach.
Yeah, I know you played with Norvell, so you got a lot of insight. A lot of these guys over the past few years, like we said, they had different coaches, so the trust issue is a problem right now. They don't know who to trust. They had 3 different coaches, and I'm sure they all dealt with some issues with the past 2 that made them kind of hesitant to trust guys. So with this whole COVID deal, it's something that we never experienced. They're finding out answers as we go. Nobody has the answers right now. So I think the biggest thing right now, and you kind of touch on your thoughts as well, some of these guys, I'm not saying they're wrong not to feel safe, just like I'm not saying the guys who said they feel safe. Everybody's experience is different. So I didn't really harp on the guy saying he didn't feel safe. I just believe that he could have had a conversation with the coach before jumping on the internet. And if the coach does have an open door policy, we don't know all the facts. I can't say who's lying. I can't say who isn't, but some guys feel like they're being lied to. So that's something you need to have a conversation with the coach behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But my issue is if we got 3 guys that feel unsafe and the rest of the team feels good, that's still a problem. Because with this deal, we need the whole entire team to be on board. The whole entire team needs to be comfortable in order for us to be successful. You know, in sports, we say all the time, you're only strong as your weakest link. So if we got some people that ain't on board, they don't feel comfortable, then how do we expect to move forward and be successful?
Well, you know, my thoughts on that, like I agree entirely with you on the it should have been handled, you know, behind closed doors and not brought to social media right away. But then I also kind of feel like this, and this is my personal opinion. We've seen all across the country that, you know, star players known players that we've seen and maybe others that we haven't, but there are players out there across the country that say that they do not want to play because of COVID. Okay. That I'm pretty sure that option is for everyone. And if you feel unsafe, then it's okay to go ahead and opt out, you know, and if per se Norvell isn't having that option for you, then that's a different conversation. That's what needs to be brought out, because that's a whole different topic. But that's not what this is. So if you feel so unsafe that you can't, you know, stay with your brothers where they feel like they are safe as well, then it's okay for you to go ahead and leave. Like, and that's just how I feel, you know.
Yeah, without a doubt. I spoke about that on Twitter a little bit earlier today. Whether or not these guys play this year or not, are we still honoring their scholarship? I know they said that they are going to honor their scholarship, but what about next year when you have 85 scholarship players and then you have this guy returning back that opted out last year? Does he still get to be a part of the team? That's my thing. Are we still going to take care of these kids if they opt out this year because they don't feel safe? Are we still going to honor their scholarship? No, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Definitely.
The other thing, somebody brought up Marvin Wilson, who came out pretty quickly in support of Coach Norvell, and then a lot of other players did. Another person, Michelle, in here in the chat also brought up how we're bringing some positivity out of it. And I completely agree with you. I kind of hate the way that stuff happened on social media. You know, Antonio Cromartie, let me turn my light on, people can see me. Antonio Cromartie talked about the fact that whether they were right or wrong in lashing out against, I don't think anybody's ever right for lashing out on somebody on social media just because that's a bad platform. But whether they were right or wrong for feeling, you know, like they were lied to or misrepresented or whatever, just the look for them, like NFL scouts and coaches like see that, right? And NFL scouts and coaches, and that's the thing. At the same time, I mean, I know you're young. They're young kids. They, you know, sometimes you learn lessons hard ways. We've had a lot of players at Florida State, unfortunately, do that over the years. But you know, that's the biggest thing is they're not only hurting the brand and their coach, they're making themselves look bad by doing that. And that's the part that they don't realize. And hopefully Norvell can get through to them. But to go back to Marvin Wilson, a lot of guys came out very quickly in support of Coach Norvell. And so, as of course, just because of today's society and the media and news and stuff like that, nobody focuses on all the players that came out in support of him. TMZ ran an article on the letter, and Deadspin runs an article on the negative stuff, right? But there were way more players that came out and said, no, I support what's going on. And I mean, that speaks to everything you speak of. Those guys already have that confidence and that relationship in Coach Norvell. Marvin Wilson was the one that got into him with him after the George Floyd killing. And so he's the one that got into it with him the first time, and he was the first one to come defend him. So, I mean, I think that just kind of speaks to what you were talking about, that Coach Norvell does develop those relationships, and he is approachable, and they can, you know, work with him and talk with him about those things.
Yes, indeed, for sure.
I got something to say. I see a lot of guys in the comments that speaking on Warren Thompson. I know the narrative now is, especially with what last year, what happened with Willie Taggart, is he's a bad locker room guy. This is a guy that has all the ability in the world, and this is a narrative. You got to understand, this is a narrative that's being painted about you now, and NFL teams may believe the same thing. And Kedarian, I know you played with some guys that had all the ability in the world, but they may have not been coachable. I don't know the situation. I don't know whether he was lied to or what, but he got to understand this is a narrative that's being painted about him. So going forward, you got to understand that, and you got to be that guy that takes that next step. Because on the field, I seen you play. I seen what you can do. I saw it last year. For this team to go to the next level, we need you. But as far as maturity, listen, whenever you have an issue, chop that up with the coach. We're not running straight to the internet no more.
No.
We ain't no little kids. Once you left home, come to Florida State, it's time to be a grown man. You want to be respected as a man, you got to act like a man. You got all the ability in the world. But if you ain't coachable, you never going to get to that level. You never going to play at your fullest capability if you're not coachable. So you got to understand that.
Yeah, and I'm a piggyback off that, man. And if he does hear this, I just want to know, like, you know, I didn't mean no harm, but like you said, it's just now it's an opportunity for him to bounce back and take full advantage of what's in front of him, because Coach Norvell's offense is an offense that really cannot be stopped. And as a wide receiver, I would be dying to get a taste of it again. Like, so as if I was him, I would just, you know, keep my head down, keep doing my work, keep putting my work in, and taking full advantage of this, because it's an opportunity that'll go quick, and you don't want to look back and say, I wish I woulda, shoulda, coulda. No, you take full advantage of this, because I'm telling you, this man can really be a benefit to you.
Yeah, and you kind of just touched on it, and really appreciate you talking about this and everything, and clarifying. Obviously, you weren't attacking the guy. We know that. Just more coming to Norvell's back, which I think is awesome. If you're a Florida State fan and you see former players, and you weren't the only one. I saw Coxie came out today as well in supporting Coach Norvell, and I saw several Memphis parents doing the same thing. So if you're a Florida State fan, that has to excite you, seeing that this is the school he just left, but his players, the parents, the fans, they have nothing but high praise for him because they saw that 4-year process with Mike Norvell. So just what message do you want to give to Florida State fans just about Norvell? And I know you touched on it, but that offense, because man, we have been lacking offense for a while in Tallahassee, and we could really, we just want to see some points. I don't care if we lose, at least lose like 41-42. Just give us some offense for a change.
Well, one thing I will say is you guys are in great hands. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys compete. If it means anything, I'm an early pick here. I'm going to go ahead and say you guys in the ACC championship against Clemson. And I got you guys.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like you, bro. Let me get you a shirt. What size you wear? Shoot me your address. Let's go, man. My new favorite guest, bro.
Hey,
I had an 11-year NFL vet on here last night, and Antonio Cromartie. You just jumped him.
No, I'm so serious. I believe that 110%, man. I believe in Norvell that much, man. And you guys got a great one, and I'm happy that you guys just happy that you got them. But yeah, man, I'm just excited to see what you guys do.
Yeah, I think most fans are happy as well. We're excited about him.
Man, thank you again so much for coming on. I appreciate your time. Hey, shout out your Twitter, shout out anywhere, like anything you got going on where people can follow you and kind of step today. I know our fans, they're going crazy in the chat. They really, they love what you're saying. You're getting a lot of positive feedback right now on social media. From what you're talking about here on the chat. So let people know where they can follow you, anything you got going on, how they can support you or whatever. And then, man, we appreciate again you coming on. We'll get you out of here.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you guys for having me. Everybody, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @_UnoTrace. That's UNOTRES. The marathon continues, guys, and I appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate you for taking the time, man.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one.
Bud. I thought he was really good. I think what people are saying here in the chat really speaks a lot of I mean, that kid obviously has a lot of respect for Coach Norvell. I don't know if he expected to go, semi-viral yesterday with FSU Twitter. A lot of people go viral with FSU Twitter, and sometimes not always a good thing. I've done it for several not good things, but that was really good. And I want to say this too. Freddie talked about this, and I don't know. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, just anyway. But Warren Thompson definitely does have a narrative painted around him. Well, I've even said it and spoken about it, and tweeted about it, and made jokes about it, and this and that. But I mean, he's talented, and I want. At the end of the day, he's a kid too. Like, I want the very best for him and everybody else on our roster, And so, he and other guys on the team, on the roster and stuff have done things, and they have this narrative about them now. But I mean, it's never too late to recover from that. I mean, there does come a point where it's too late to recover from that when if somebody gets kicked off the team or whatever. But I mean, that's not a situation. He's still with the team. Now I hope he turns it around 100% and leads our team in receptions this year. I went to school several years later, but 5 minutes from where he went to school in Armwood. Like, he's an 813 guy where I live. I want him to be great. I think he can help our team. I want him to be a leader. He's one of the older guys on the team. And so, I hope he 100% turns it around. I mean, but at this point, the clock's ticking. We're getting close to the season. His time at Florida State is winding down. I mean, you're only going to be here so long. So I'm hoping that everything can kind of be put behind us on all levels, from the fan base to the coaching staff to his attitude and his heart and everything like that. And not just him, but the other players kind of involved. I mean, and I want nothing but the best for him. I was frustrated, obviously, when the letter came out and stuff like that. But hopefully it turns around. Really good question in the chat just came in. I'm going to put it up because it speaks just to that. Like, it speaks essentially where do you draw the line? And Warren I think it's a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he's had 3 different staffs he's committed to and played for here at Florida State. But where do you draw the line? Not necessarily with Warren Thompson, but just in general, Freddie.
I think his situation kind of reminds me of Kelvin Benjamin. If you guys know the Kelvin Benjamin history, he was hell when he came in. Like, coaches couldn't hold him back. He caused a lot of problems, but we always knew he had a lot of talent. And if he put it together, y'all see what happened once he put it together. I think Warren Thompson, I'm not going to say he's a Kelvin Benjamin guy, but he puts it together, then the sky's the limit for this guy. Right now he has some trust issues from the Woodley Taggart days. And I think he just has to sit down. Him and Norvell have to sit down and lay everything out on the table, because I really believe with his skill set, he can take us to the next level. And Kelvin Benjamin, he was this close from Jimbo just giving up on him because he just wouldn't listen. And then that last year, it just clicked for him. And y'all saw what happened, national championship.
Yeah, man, Warren Thompson, physically, he's probably the second most gifted receiver behind Tamarian Terry. I mean, if he gets right, and him and Norvell clear things up, which hopefully they do. You've got him opposite of Terry, and then some of those guys you can put in the slot. We just talked to Kedarian, who played in Norvell's offense, and he's pumped about it. We won't get into this too much because I'm sure we're recording again Sunday night. We want to keep this kind of short. But it was interesting today after practice. Mike Norvell was asked, what was your conversation with Warren Thompson like? And he says he hasn't spoke to him since then. So a solid 36 hours had passed since that happened. And all he would say is the whole team's on the same page. I will say it looks like Warren did take down that tweet. So maybe there's some progress there. I don't want to go too far. Yeah, I don't want to speculate too far because by Sunday, the story may be different, but I did find it odd that, whichever way, I don't know who's not calling who, but they have not talked, which I found pretty odd today.
Shout out JP. What's up with John Patrick in the chat, bro?
Orlando guy. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of Orlando guys, I was just texting subtle flex. nothing's a flex to Freddie because he knows all these guys and actually is friends with them. But I was just texting with Kelvin Benjamin. I'm going to go see him tomorrow. He's helping my mom and stepdad out with something tomorrow. So I'm actually going to see him. Spoiler alert for what may be in the future of the show coming up. But Jacques, let's hang out. Freddie, you need to get this guy on I got some questions for
Yeah, man, I'm gonna hit Quez up, man. I know he busy right now with camping and all, but hey, once y'all get some free time, man, hop on the show, Quez.
Hell yeah, man. So anyway, that's really the only thoughts I have there on that situation. If you guys have anything else, I don't want to cut you off. We've been on here for about 35 minutes. I want to talk about Sanford real quick, and then we'll go on. But anything else on that, guys?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think we're ready to close that chapter and move on. And hopefully Warren's back with the team next week. And like you said, he crushes it this season.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I need him to have a couple big catches like Kelvin did, bro. Favorite Kelvin Benjamin moments? Since we're I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, we'll have you on. Thank you for checking us out, man. Thanks for coming on here and chatting.
So for me, the easy answer is Pasadena. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go. I was in the swamp right on the 30-yard line when he broke about 14 tackles, spinning in and out of the defense. I put Vernon Hargraves to shame, just ran right through that poor kid and scored the touchdown. And I think that's the moment when, that people don't remember 2013. Well, Freddie surely remembers. Florida played us tight for that first quarter. So, Jameis threw a pick early, and then, Jimbo calls the classic Jimbo on like 3rd and 20, hits Kenny Shaw, I think, for a first down. Then Kelvin bust out the big run. That one, I just went nuts because I was surrounded by Gator fans. A lot of my real good friends went to UF. I was with them. But, man, that touchdown against Florida, I'll never forget that one.
Yeah. Also in that game, he had 3 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
My favorite play in that game wasn't even, it was probably the Kenny Shaw catch on 3rd and, like you said, 19. I think he got 21 yards. But there was a catch that Kelvin just went up and mossed Hargraves and caught the ball at about the 25, 30-yard line, and then just took a knee and just stared at him, and then got up and looked at him on the ground. He didn't stare over him or anything like that, but man, that was better to me than the touchdowns, because the touchdowns he was so far away from everybody, but he showed up like a top. Hargraves went 11, basically the top 10 NFL pick, and just absolutely ate his lunch. The catch in Pasadena was amazing. And then, what he did the last 3 weeks of the season, is 7 touchdowns, 3 against Florida, 3 against Duke, and obviously walking off the Natty, just forever a legend. So since we brought him up,
my favorite play from KB isn't even a catch. I think it was NC State, and Carlos got a toss, and KB was coming back to crack back a guy, a linebacker, and he just laid him out and just stood over him. You look on film, he just stood over him, he went move. And that moment, we set the tone. Every defense we played was scared of KB. Nobody wanted to play Florida State, but he set the tone right there. That was my favorite play from him.
He did the same thing against Miami.
Yeah,
I think the run was to the left and Kelvin was out right, so it wasn't even coming his side. But he drove that defensive back about 8 yards into the end zone and just flattened him, and the ball wasn't even going to his side of the field. He just wanted. Yeah. I love a wide receiver that likes to block and just go pancake people. Man, that's fun to watch.
It was a classic play where the ball was going the other way. But the defender took the play off, and Kelvin didn't take the play off, bro. It just absolutely lit him up. That was just a little random side note. Comment your favorite KB play. I know it's all going to be the Natty catch, but you get that. Let's go. Samford game getting thrown off the schedule. Do you guys think that we get another game rescheduled? Do you think what do you guys think happens there? Hopefully they don't play Liberty, because Liberty just plays anybody anytime, and they're like the old Florida State. They're just not good. They won a bowl game last year, but I don't want to play Liberty. The touchdown against Clemson, starting that game off right. That was a good one, Jeremy. That catch was probably the most impressive catch. But anyway, you think we get another game, or we just play 9, or what do you guys think?
I hope we do, because I really felt like we needed that second game before we played Miami. Be a good opportunity to get some more chemistry before we play a major rivalry game. I hope we get a second game. It'll be major.
Yeah, I'm torn here. I think they probably will try and see who they can get to come to Tallahassee, because the ACC, basically, your out of conference game has to be in your home state, so they can't go anywhere. But at the same time, man, I kind of like the idea of a tune-up against Georgia Tech and then sitting at home while Miami heads to Louisville and resting before you play them the next week. So I don't know. They could use the extra reps for sure, but man, getting that rest, Louisville, they're physical for what they are. So we'll see. But I have no idea. I haven't heard anything. I'm sure within the next week or so we'll have a better idea who we have reached out to and if that game will get filled.
Yeah, I don't know what I prefer more. If I want the extra reps, somebody coming to USF, I think that'd be a good one for us to play. I don't know if I want the extra rest while they go play Louisville, or if I want the extra reps, right? Rest or reps. So USF, I think, would be a good pick. I don't think West Virginia can happen, Dr. George, just because both teams have to play. I don't think the Big 12 can travel either. Like, they have to play their game. Oh, they don't even have a +1. So West Virginia can't happen. It could happen on our end if they could come here. But I don't think that could happen. If USF was off that week, Brandon, I mean, I think that's a perfect
just
perfect
call up Nebraska, man. Scott Frost is itching to play someone.
Let them play a one game. Fortunately, UCF and FAU play that week already. I do not need a loss to Willie Taggart, and I don't have confidence that we beat UCF, so I'm glad they're already playing. USF me. Let's go with that. Let's welcome we hadn't beat Jeff Scott in a few years, so we can beat him there. So anyway, stinks that's gone. Richie, I like your shirt, man. What's going on there?
Good.
Yeah, man, I was pretty excited. I have the USPS informed delivery, so I know when packages are coming. And I saw Printful, the production company we use. I'm like, TJ, this is my shirt. So yeah, it's I got my shirt. My wife got her woman's tank top. She loves it. I'm gonna be repping this everywhere. I need a couple more colors now, man. I need one for each day of the week.
Freddie, I think yours is getting delivered today, or it already has.
Freddie got his.
Yeah,
he did.
Mine got delivered, but I ain't gonna lie. I gotta lose a few more pounds before I can fit into the extra large. I had to take it off at the gym, man.
Yeah, those are cool. I'm jealous as heck because you guys just came before. I ordered mine before I ordered you guys's, and you guys just came first. So mine didn't come till Monday. I'm going to Orlando tomorrow. I wanted to wear it. It doesn't come till Monday, so I'll wear it to work on Tuesday. But you can go to the I don't have a real good link for this, but if you go to our Instagram, it is our pinned appreciate that, Jeremy. Jeremy's going to go order one. Y'all should all go order one. If you go to Instagram right now, it is the link in our bio is to the shirts. We're about to do a pretty big giveaway on Instagram. So go follow us on Instagram, Double Fries Pod. Everywhere else. I mean, you guys are watching on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube right now. Everything is Double Fries Pod. I went to Guthrie's today. We talked about that earlier. I bought a bunch of stickers. I've got like 100 stickers, and anybody that tags us in a tweet with their Guthrie's meal or an Instagram post or a Facebook post, whatever, if you tag us, I'll send you a free sticker. They're actually pretty nice, but they're just cheap stickers. But I will send you a free one. You can put that on something, and I know you guys are like me and all like free stuff. Guthrie's 2550 North Monroe and 1818 West Tennessee Street. Appreciate them for partnering with us on the show. Appreciate my guy Ed Kennedy, who's helping us get a lot of stuff out on social media. We put out 3 videos today, 2 from Cromartie and 1 where Freddie is giving Lonnie crap about the stats and stuff from Sunday's show. Appreciate Ed for helping us with everything he's doing. Also appreciate my guy Brian Hathaway. He is helping us with a lot of image and graphic type stuff. He actually put the graphic together of the guy's stats. He put the graphic together of the season predictions, and I think we're going to make him an official part of the team here in a minute. So Brian Hathaway, his handle is, let me make sure I get this right, BHath4. BHATH4. If you need a logo, this is kind of like an ad read. If you need a logo or an image or anything made up, He has done a ton of stuff for us and a ton of stuff for a lot of people kind of in the FSU community, a lot of stuff for me personally. So hit him up and he'll design it for you. All right, I'm done with the 76 ad reads or plugs that I've got. You guys got anything? You guys get anything fun this weekend?
Nah, nothing for me. I'm fresh out the gym, so back at it tomorrow.
Yeah, man. My wife's got me painting kitchen cabinets, so I may try and roll over to the Cush house for a few hours to get out of that. We'll see what happens.
Let's go. Yeah, we're running to Orlando. Shout out my sister and her new baby that she had late Wednesday night. They made it home today. And so I'm going to see my newest niece tomorrow. So I'll be in Orlando, and then I'm running by the Cush house as well. So appreciate the new fans, appreciate the old fans. Keep sharing this, retweet it. The cool thing about this is people can go back and listen to it later on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hopefully we can go live on Instagram soon. They don't have that functionality built in. But appreciate you guys. And we'll be back on Sunday. Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Two really good guests. We'll see if anybody else wants to jump on the show or not. But two guests I think you guys are going to really enjoy. One, I know you guys all love him already. And if you don't like the other guy, too bad. He's really good. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out for a few minutes tonight.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all. Go make sure y'all share this and go follow us on every social media platform, YouTube included.
Buy a shirt for yourself, for your friends. 5-star review. All right, TJ, we're out.
You guys sound like me with the ads now.